to Real Estate Friday. Thank you so much for joining us today. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how to get listings, how to work with for sale by owners, how that's the low hanging fruit right now, and how you can accomplish that by getting to work with a for sale by owner. Now, the big question I've been getting is a lot of sellers that want to price their home. Everybody thinks their home is the best one on the block, right? So when you're trying to list a property, one of the main issues a lot of agents have is how to ask for a price reduction. So that's what we're gonna cover today. And I hope you guys find it very useful and some insight on how to do that. And a lot of that is from based on personal experience. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
Daylon, don't you call it a price adjustment rather than reduction?
Well, I call it price reduction just for all of us to be on the same page. But you're absolutely right. You word it in a way that it sounds nice and appealing to your client. So let's jump right in, guys. All right, so you got a listing, so congratulations, and that's awesome news. But there's also some bad news, and the bad news is that sellers are insisting on a too high price. Now, you know the home will never sell at that price. I don't know if that ever happened to you. It has happened to me. So when the time inevitably comes to ask for a price reduction, how do you go about it? How do you ask the seller to reduce a price? Well, today I'm gonna show you how to do exactly that. And in 5 different ways. You're gonna know how to know upfront if their home is even worth listing in the first place. By asking a few simple questions, you can determine if the seller will be willing to reduce the price to sell the home. Now, this helps you avoid wasting time on sellers that aren't now and will never be motivated to sell their homes for a fair price. Number two, you know how to show the seller it isn't your fault the home isn't selling for the original high price, because there's always somebody to blame, right? The other one will be how to build a solid system that will keep the pressure on the seller to reduce the price. Number four, how often you should ask for a price reduction. And lastly, how to stop sellers from calling you to complain about how their home haven't sold. So we're gonna go over all these points. So let's go ahead and start on how to get a seller to reduce their price. Well, for a seller to reduce the price, they have to be told a number of times. Let's put that out there already. Business to business salespeople often say it takes 7 sales calls to get a customer and 29 calls to get a customer to trust the salesperson. Now, I don't know if those numbers are correct, but I do know that people get emotionally involved when they want to sell their homes. Normal, nice, rational, smart people can't understand how their home isn't worth what they think it should be. And if you can't sell their home for what they think it's worth, it's your fault. Am I right? That's why we have to use as many methods as possible to bring them to reality so they'll price their home competitively. If you don't, the home will expire and another agent will sell it for them. The sad part about it is that that agent will probably get them to reduce the price and sell it. So let's go through the method. These methods, I use it personally. So I'm gonna go over them with you and now explain a little bit how that works. So let's go right and let's dig in right in. So number one, call every single week. Call every week. Calling every week builds rapport with the sellers and lets them know you, who they're working with and doing something to sell their home. So you're building that relationship with them. This is the biggest key to keep sellers happy with you as their agent. I call them every week, even if nothing is going on. I simply tell them that we didn't have any showings, that other homes are still selling, and that we might need to reduce the price. So don't be afraid to call them. Just don't skip doing that for a while. Then make sure, this is key, the number one, that's why I put as number one. Make sure you communicate with the seller every single week. Number two, follow up on showings quickly. Number two, follow up on showings quickly. Call a seller when you hear the feedback from a showing. I don't know if a lot of you do that, but you do get a feedback from a showing. Either call the listing agent or the system, Join Assist will do that for you. This is the perfect time to ask for a price reduction if they haven't been getting any interest in a few weeks. Number three, ask for a price reduction every 21 days. That's number three. Ask for a price reduction every 21 days. If you just reduce the price and the activity didn't pick up, start asking for a price reduction after another 21 days. It will take them 2 to 3 weeks to agree with you on reducing the price. If you tell them the reason the home isn't selling, price and condition, obviously, they won't call you and complain as much. So make sure you do this every 21 days if necessary. Number four, don't take pathetic price reductions. Don't take pathetic price reductions. What do I mean by that? Well, if you reduce a home from, let's say, $659,000 to $654,000, it won't make much difference, right? So turn down the small price reduction until you get the 5 to 10% that will cost the home to sell. If you go from 659,000 to 599,000, now that is a meaningful price reduction that will make a difference and get more buyers into the door. When I take a price reduction, so I always try to get it reduced below the next round number that the buyers search within. For example, I wouldn't reduce from 267,900 to 252,000. Instead, I will push for 249,900 and tell them that at 252,000, you're still competing with the homes priced at 275,000, which are probably nicer and more likely to sell. I hope you get the point. Number five, send them an updated CMA whenever you think it's necessary. Send them an updated CMA whenever you think it's necessary. A CMA, as you know, is a comparable market analysis. I have found that not being too pushy with reductions, it gets the job done. If they're being very resistant and you know you have to be pushing, push by all means. But also send them an updated CMA and other competitive active listings in the mail. Email, and notice I said in the mail. Email usually doesn't work because they can be deleted easily. So if you send it by email, make sure you follow up and you talk to them. But I prefer to send them by mail and they get a nice report from me why they should reduce the price. So that's number five. Send them an updated CMA whenever you think it's necessary. Number six, talk to both parties every week. Talk to both parties every week. Now, here's what can happen if you don't. Let's say the house was for sale by owner and then you listed it. So congratulations. But the macho man, the husband, will have his ego to protect, right? So first, he thought he was so smart that he could sell the home by himself. Now that he has listed the home, if he takes a lower price, it means that he has failed again. So if you just call him with the updates every single week, he probably won't tell his wife what is really happening. Honey, what's going on with the home? The wife might say. The husband replies, well, I talked to the realtor today and he said that everything is fine with the sale. So now it's all on the realtor, so all on us. So make sure that you talk to both parties every week. And by talking to both parties, make sure you're involving husband and wife in this scenario. Number seven, don't feel bad that you're asking them to reduce the price. This is key. Number seven, don't feel bad that you're asking them to reduce the price. The biggest objection that all realtors face is not the objection from the seller or the buyer, it's the objection on our own head. So it's all here. It is not our fault when a home declines in price. All the for sale by owners that sold themselves when the market was red hot in 2005 told us then that we couldn't take credit for the price increase, right? Is it any different now? So here's how I look at it. If a seller is motivated to sell a certain date and we don't actively tell them to reduce their price every week to sell it by that date, we're doing them a disservice. When they are up against the wall and strapped for time, they would reduce the price below market just to get the home sold. So why get to that point? Or if they're unmotivated but determined to get a certain price, they will keep the home on the market, then finally try to sell for sale by owner. So we want to avoid all this. Some cheap buyer will come them and lowball them and send them a lowball offer, and we'll take it, and they will net what they should have had made on the sale of the property rather than waiting till the last minute when they're finally motivated. So we want to help them avoid this issue. So again, don't feel bad that you're asking them to reduce the sale price. So if you don't, you're actually doing a disservice for them. Number 8, tell them what you're doing to market and promote their home. Okay, number 8, tell them what you're doing to market and promote their home. Now, this will constantly reaffirm with them that you're trying to sell their home. Send them copies of the ad whenever their home is advertised. This will protect your reputation whenever someone at work tells them to fire you and hire your hotshot friend who's also a realtor and has a supposedly great track record. So again, make sure you always communicate, over communicate if you can with the seller. Tell them what you're doing to market and promote their home. Number 9, quote the statistics. Number 9, quote the statistics. Now let's say there's 1,650 homes on the market in your area. Last month, 125 homes sold in the same market. Now, if you look at those numbers and no other homes come on the market, that means that you have, or you would have 13 months of homes in the market, right? Simple math. But let's say those 345 homes come on the market in the following month. What do you think that does for the value of your home when it has that much competition and that few buyers looking for a home? So think about that. And last one, it would be to be undersized. That's number 10. Be undersized. All of us have our seller's best interests at heart. So tell them that you don't want to reduce the price, but the market is telling you that is what must be done. Here's what you say when the seller tells you that you are just trying to reduce their price to get their home sold quickly so you can get paid. Here's what you will say to something like that. Well, a home is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. And all of the buyers are being subjected to your home because it is being advertised and all the other realtors know about it. But so far, no buyer has been willing to pay $279,000. So it must be a problem with the price. Doesn't that make sense to you? Something like that, it will help them come to their senses. Now, using that method, you're able to get unmotivated sellers to reduce price. I told the former seller, I talked about all the reasons that he needed to sell his home. And because I use a method like this, they come to the logic, and then they're able to understand why we want to get to the number that we need to get. Now, notice that at the beginning of this training, I said not all listings are good listings. So which sellers are worth listing? There's nothing crazier than seeing another real estate agent list a house for, let's say, for $150,000 that comes out at $250,000, half. Agents get so desperate sometimes for business that they'll take anything they can get. And we want to avoid coming to that. The key to success in this business is just like anything else. You have to select good customers and get rid of the rest. Banks do this when they reject the bad borrowers and only lend to the ones most likely to pay. So agents get so busy chasing down unmotivated prospects and working with unmotivated sellers listings and unmotivated buyers. They have no time for any profitable customers if they were able to find them. So no wonder, you know, a lot of agents, they start in this business, they have you know, their you know, the call to action, they're hungry, they move forward, but then they consume a lot of the time on people that they're not gonna go anywhere, and then they're going broke. So here's the best way to determine whether or not to take a listing. Several of the most successful agents I have known use this method. So ask the seller questions to gauge their motivation. And that's the key. Ask the seller questions to gauge their motivation. Motivation, my friends, is everything. Motivated sellers who are broke will want to overprice their homes in the beginning, but will be realistic with the price when they have to move out of town with a job transfer. Or, don't take a listing just based on the price they want for the home. If they are in a foreclosure, 3 months from losing their home, they're going to want every penny they can get because they need the money. They will overprice in the beginning, but the foreclosure will force them to price the home, right? So there are two main things to look for in a seller, and I'll go over it. Number one is motivation. Ask them where they're moving to. Motivation is everything. So that's number one. Two main points. Number one, motivation, and number two, what's important about the move. When you have a seller that's selling, obviously they want to move somewhere. So ask why they're moving. Then ask what's important to them about the move. The Bible says you have not because you ask not. So make sure you ask, and you'll be surprised when you ask. And a lot of people believe that the universe will give you what you ask for. Whatever you believe, if you ask sellers to gauge the motivation, you'll be surprised. They will tell you. You'll be amazed at what people tell you if you just ask them. And the number two, like I said, what's important about the move. So now you know, once you ask and they tell, now you know you have a motivated seller worth listing. Even if they want to list high in the beginning, you can call them every week. You can follow the same steps I gave you before, and they'll come to the conclusion why it will be better to listen to you and list the price at a point that it will sell. And I'm gonna give you my personal system that I definitely recommend to keep your sellers happy and get price reduced. So here's my system. First, call them every week on a Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. That's what I like. That's how I like doing it. By this time, you will have showing feedback from the weekend showings. Tell them what happened with their home this week, if necessary, and ask for a price reduction. So that's the first thing I do. I call them every single week, Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I follow up on showings on Monday afternoon. If you can't reach the realtor, you call them again on Tuesday. So follow up on showing appointments. Schedule a time to call all your sellers at the same time every single week, and treat them like an appointment. This time is actually more important than a listing or a buyer appointment. Okay, so schedule a time to call all your sellers at the same time every week. That should be part of your schedule. Don't skip calling them 1 week. Now, people love consistency, and that is what you're gonna give them. Okay, now they know. Let's say you call every Wednesday. Now they know they were expecting a call from you on a Wednesday. Now they're thinking about you. And let's say you close the house, guess what? They're still gonna be thinking about you every Wednesday because you've been calling every single Wednesday for the entire time that you had the house listed. And lastly, ask if they know anyone buying or selling when you call them. If you're doing a good job, they will refer people to you. This will make your time calling them more productive and worthwhile. Now, notice that I told you, call every single week. Okay, if you call on a Wednesday, make sure you call every single Wednesday. But now we're adding the other part. When you call them every single Wednesday, make sure you remind them that if you know anyone that's buying or selling. Now, we talked a lot about building a sphere, building a network, and this is a great way to start doing that. Now, if you list a property that's overpriced, and just think about this for a second. If you're listing a property that's overpriced, and they're gonna get a call from you every single Wednesday, two things are gonna happen. Either they're gonna love it, or they're gonna hate it. Now, if they hate it, what's gonna happen? You're calling to give them an update on the property, and it's overpriced. You're gonna remind them that, hey, I think we should lower the price. And at the same time, you're asking for a referral. So you're gonna get something good back if you continue doing this consistently. So I encourage everyone to do that. Just take this. I can put this on a PDF, kind of like what I gave you because it's a lot of information. Send us an email to Steve or myself, and I will send you this information so you can put it together, you know, personalize it to your strategies, and that way you guys can use it. I mean, everyone that attended today, please feel free to send out an email to us. We'll send it to you right away so you can follow this guidelines on how to work with sellers and how to reduce their the price if you have to. If you follow this simple steps, getting price reductions and closing deals will be so much easier to you. So that's what we want for you. We want to make your job a lot easier. So again, if you need this information, we'll be more than happy to send it to you. I'll put it together in a PDF, and you will have it right away. So I hope you found it, you know, very interesting and helpful. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot about getting more listings. But you don't want to get listings just to have listings. You want to get listings that move. That way you are successful and become a listing agent. So
Hey,
have any questions?
Devon, I have a question for you. I know that we've been talking about FISBOs for the last couple of weeks, and a lot of this was related to that. But when you're getting a listing from, say, someone in your sphere or someone who was referred to you, highly referred to you, um, do you not have a conversation with them at the beginning when you're sitting down to determine pricing, utilizing a CMA that you've done, and let them know that, you know, when we first put this on the market is when it's going to get its highest views. And if we don't get any requests for, we don't get any offers, or we don't even get any requests to show, that's gonna indicate that the market is refusing our price. So if you can talk to them up front and kind of uh, what is it like, get their expectations in line at the beginning, I don't think it's so much of a fight when you have to call them every week and ask for a price reduction and a price reduction and a price reduction. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. The idea is to when you first meet with your seller, your client, obviously you want to tell them, hey, this is the price that it will sell for because you already did your research in the market. You already know the area and you saw the house, so you feel comfortable that it will sell at a certain price. But you got to remember, like, even friends, sometimes they think, everybody thinks that their home is the best home in the block. So they want to make sure that they ask for more if they have to. And sometimes it's because they're not motivated. And although let's put a number. Let's say that the houses will sell for 300, but they want to ask for 360. I mean, we way over the number. But that's the number they want because they saw it in Zillow or they saw it in other information. And although they know you at a friend level, they might know you at a business level. So they want to tell you, hey, listen, this is the price that I would like to get. And sometimes, because we know how we were upfront with them and we told them, listen, this is the number we should be at. They might be open if we follow the same strategies by calling every week and stuff like that, because we already told them this is not a surprise to them.
Mm-hmm.
So we can try. Sometimes I tell her, listen, let's try your method for a couple of weeks. And then 21 days later, hey, I think we should lower the price. Let's try my method now. And then you can get them to your level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think also that if you're not putting it on yourself as like say, let's try my method or let's lower the price in 21 days, I would say to be able to manage their expectations up front, let them know the market, if we don't get any results, if we don't get any requests to show, we don't get any offers or anything in the first 2 weeks when it's going to have its most powerful presentation, then it's going to show that the market is declining our price. And so it's like our price, like you and me, we're a team together. And it's the market that's declining, not me that's recommending that we lower the price every time.
I agree with that. I said there's somebody asked me a question that if how effective is to use a for sale sign right now. Well, it depends. It depends on the neighborhood. It depends on the area. There's a lot of buyers right now. Okay, there's a lot of people looking to buy homes. If you don't have a sign in the front yard, a for sale sign, you could miss out on somebody just driving by without a realtor and calling up and you be the one to answer the phone and getting now becoming a transaction broker in that transaction, pun intended. So if you can put a sign, by all means, I would put a sign, because if anything, you're building up your brand. You're putting your flag in that neighborhood, kind of thing. Any other questions?
Good stuff. Thanks, Daylon. And if anyone has any further questions, you can reach out to Daylon. He's Daylon at brokernation.net is his email. I'll put it in the chat. And if you have any marketing, digital marketing, lead generation, or social media questions, you can always hit me up, Steve at brokernation.net. I'm putting that in the chat now. And if you want to catch up with the latest events that we're doing, and we do have a new one coming up, Relevant Realtor is now the Relevant Agent 2020. That is all on www.brokernation.events.
Good stuff, man. Going back on the sign for a little bit. I mean, when you get the listing, if you can put a sign, by all means, do so. Now, mind you, the sign does not replace your online marketing efforts. Okay, it's just an addition to it. So if you can put a sign, great. You might be able to get people in the area that are without an agent, that are looking to buy, and they might find your home. But your online efforts should always be there. Okay, and this is where we come really handy to you, and we help you, and we have Steve to help you with that. We do have a system called Shine, which I would encourage our agents to learn about it, use it. It's a CRM, but it provides so much tools that you can definitely implement in your business. And this is how you can get online presence and optimize your listings and capture new leads, create lead generation. So a lot of the stuff, make sure that you do marketing offline, maybe by putting a sign in front of the house, but make sure you have presence online. And by online, it's just not using these tools that I just talked about, but make sure you're in all social media platforms. Make sure you're posting, make sure you're putting pictures of the home, videos. I mean, all this stuff that's completely free, by the way, that you can start pushing on that way through social media. And Chime as well has web pages. You have squeeze pages, landing pages, aside from your web page or your personal web page. So make sure all this stuff you can implement and you use. And when you put a listing on social media, you can optimize this listing, and then it would track back to your Chime account or your CRM, and that's where you're gonna be getting more leads through there. So make sure you do that. I mean, that's very, very important nowadays. And we were talking about it. I think we opened the conversation today talking about TikTok, or how you can even, do. A lot of people are on TikTok now, and it's at the beginning stages. So as time will go by, you can grow your account, you can grow your awareness. It's not as serious as LinkedIn. So you can be more yourself, relax, your family and friends, but make it fun to other people, and then show them that you also mean business. So that's a good thing about TikTok. So you can follow me on TikTok, by the way, at Dailan Ruido, my name. I'll be there. And I have some funny videos. So you can join me. All right, guys. So thank you so much. We're having a Relevant Realtor event coming up. Rather, it's called the Relevant Agent 2020. So Steve just put the link for you guys to register. Make sure you do. Okay, this is very, very important information. It gives you an up-to-date strategies that you can implement right now, how you can be relevant in today's market using online and offline tools. So make sure you do that, okay? Armando is gonna be talking about that. He's our broker CEO for Broker Nation Real Estate, and Steve is gonna be covering the technology and the marketing part. Steve, you wanna cover a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think we might update it to accommodate some of these things that we were talking about too, Daylon, with what's happening right now with some of these platforms like TikTok. Pinterest is another big one. LinkedIn has a ton of of organic reach, meaning you can reach more people than you can on Facebook without paying for it, if you know how to do it right. So tune into that, and make sure that you tell all your friends and colleagues about that too. It's also on Facebook. I'm going to drop the link for the Facebook one too, which sometimes makes it easier to share. That's the Eventbrite link there, but you can also share directly on Facebook or on WhatsApp. Share with people on WhatsApp too.
Yeah, and this one in particular is so important because it's actually called Relevant Age in 2020. I mean, obviously this year it's nothing but unprecedented. So we want to make sure that we take advantage of everything that we learn nowadays and we implement it. And the strategies that we're going to teach you through this event is stuff that you can implement right now. Also, you will be getting a lot of free websites that you can join, that you can get leads from. And also, besides getting leads from those websites, it gives you online presence. So make sure you join on that event and make sure you take a lot of notes, especially on how to get those the websites that you can register for.
Yeah, Daylon, I've been hearing, I talked to a lot of the realtors in our brokerage, and a lot of you are telling me that some are struggling and some are on the other end of the spectrum doing really well. Some realtors out there right now are having their best month ever last month, or the last 2 months. You know, everyone took a big dip in March and April, but June and July, I think even in the news, you'll see in the magazines and the Real Deal and things like that, you'll hear these stories about teams that are having their best month ever. So make sure you tune into that and stay up to date with the latest tactics and strategies of what they're doing, what we're doing, what's working for us and our people inside our brokerage, and also what's going on in the industry, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know, one thing I talked to a lot of these agents, they're going great, or they had an awesome month this previous month, because although we've been dealing with this COVID-19 and all, I mean, there's a lot of buyers, definitely. So if we're not hitting the phone, so we're not calling people and helping them understand that this is a good time to buy because interest rates are so low, and I don't know what they're doing. Right now, it's a great time to be hitting the phones. Make sure you have online presence. Make sure you're engaging with us in all the trainings that we're giving, because these strategies you can implement and you can start making money right away, aside from gathering a lot of knowledge. So one of the things I've been talking to them about is consistency. Okay, sometimes a lot of us have a great month, and then we have another month no closings, or the next month with no closing, and then we have another month, another great month. But we want to be able to, instead of going like this, we want to make sure we do have consistency in our business. We all want that. Now, how you get that? Well, we're going to cover that on the Relevant Agent training, and we do cover pieces on how to do that on all of the trainings that we give. Okay, and that's key on every business. You want cash flow, you want production, but you want production to be consistent. At least every month you're gonna have a closing, or you have something, and the key on that one is building a pipeline. You want to build a pipeline so thick that leads and work, it's going to be coming out to you every single month. And that's exactly what we want for you guys. That's exactly what all this trainings is for, to show you different strategies, different ways to grow that pipeline. So every month you have consistency in work, production, and ultimately, obviously, money. Okay, so stay tuned with us. Thank you so much for you guys that joined us today. Again, Steve put in the chat the Relevant Agent training that we have coming up. When is that training again, Steve? I think it's
which training?
The Relevant Agent.
The Relevant Agent 2020 will be Thursday, August 6th. I think that's okay. 2 Thursdays from yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's the link to the Eventbrite. You can register directly on Eventbrite or through Facebook. You can register through Facebook too. Share that with all of the realtors in your database on Facebook. All of the Broker Nation agents that are listening, we talk about this all the time. Make sure you share. And
we have another training coming up that we're going to go over the contract, and that's on Tuesday, right?
Right, that's on Tuesday with Armando, and are you going to be joining that too?
Yeah, yeah, I'll be there too.
Okay. That one's not going to be me so much, but I will be tuning in and be a part of it. But yes, that's going to be contracts and what else? Some.
Yeah, it's the transaction from A to Z, and we're gonna cover the full contract. You know, negotiating a contract, what to put in the contract, terms, clauses. So make sure this is for all agents. I mean, whether you've been for a long time in the business or a brand new agent, this is a contract training, transaction process from A to Z. So join for that. Join us on that one, and that's on Tuesday. Let me see, Eventbrite.
I didn't put that on Eventbrite yet, so actually I have to do that.
Oh, it's not on Eventbrite. Okay.
So look out for that on Tuesday, and everyone register at www.brokernation.events.
All right. Thank you, Steve. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. This was another Real Estate Friday for you. Monday we're having Mindset Monday, and we're gonna have a week filled with activities and suggestions for you and training. So make sure you join for that. But for now, have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy your day and have a great weekend.
Everybody, 1 second.
Hey, Rob.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I just sent a message to everybody that my Facebook and Messenger account got hacked. So if you get anything from me today, don't open it.
All right,
I just reset all my passwords and everything, but it happened this morning. My daughter just contacted me.
All right,
So
Rob.
if you get anything from me this morning, it's not me.
Okay, Rob. Thanks, man.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you. I wanted to say something before leaving.
Hey, Lorena.
Hi, Dylan. I want to say thank you for answering all my text messages after hours on the weekend for my listing. Just heads up, I have my sellers on a chat together. So every morning I tell them what's going on. I have an inspection tomorrow at 12:30. Even if I don't have any status, I just say good morning, have a blessed day, productive. I'll keep you posted with anything that's going on. And I'm going to meet with them this weekend too. So just a little, friendly reminder, I guess every other day for me, I talk to them or I send them on audio voice.
That's very good.
But thank you for all your help.
No, of course, my pleasure. That's very good, Lorena. Good job.
That you're saying to ask for a referral because
I can't hear you.
sorry, that it's good to ask for a referral because there's a lot of people that are wanting to sell or refinance. I'm right now working with a lender and their interest rates are 2.75. So it's very busy out there for buyers. Yeah, the inventory is low, but if you ask for referrals, trust me, it's friends, family, cousin, sister. These sellers are actually referring me to their mother-in-law. One of their mother-in-laws, she's probably gonna sell and buy as well. So it's good to ask for referrals.
Yeah. Always ask for a referral. And you know what? Right now, like I've been dealing with some buyers. There's some buyers that even if they don't qualify, they have somebody that they can qualify with, like a co-signer, or they can add somebody to the loan and they'll get qualified with them. So I mean, there's an opportunity for everybody right now, and there are other programs available that if somebody doesn't have a lot of money saved, or they don't have the money for the down payment, we have lenders that they do have these programs available, and we are dealing with all kinds of buyers. So make sure you take advantage of the situation, but because the fact that the interest rates are low, that means there's more buying power. So everybody can qualify one way or another. And sometimes it requires for us to be a little bit creative. So make sure you don't say no unless we really look into that prospect. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. You can call Mando or any of us, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through it or connect you with the right team that will help you with that. Okay. All right, everybody. Anybody else? Nala, are we talking today?
Have a great weekend.
All right, guys. So have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have a good Friday, and please stay safe. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye. You too, Jane.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and tune in Monday morning, Mindset Monday, and Contracts A to Z on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.